Largs lost 5-1 to Cumnock today. Sandy, that was a really tough defeat today for everybody. It was the same team pretty much, apart from one from last week that did so well against Rob Roy, but ultimately lost. What went wrong today?
I don't think there was enough stripping it right down to the basics. There wasn't enough effort from the players. I don't think there was a lack of commitment, lack of belief, all the things that you need to win games of football. So last week was very sore because we lost it late on. Today was even sorer because we lost it heavily. I just felt, we spoke at half time about trying to put pressure on them, and we never done that second half. It was really disappointing.
Albeit there was a few, the first 10-15 minutes, Largs were looking almost in control at times, and then it just unexplainably kind of collapsed.
Yeah, I think need to give credit to Cumnock, I suppose. They changed. They looked very nervous when we were playing. You're right, the first 10-15 minutes thereafter they started going a bit longer with the game and getting in behind us, and we didn't adapt to that. And that was really frustrating. Even at half time we asked them to do things slightly differently, a bit quicker, get the ball forward quicker to our strikers. Never at any time did we do that, and we've lost poor goals as well. So the whole thing today was disjointed and wasn't pretty.
No. In terms of the likes of the squad today, let's say there was only one change from last week that did so well. So how can you explain that?
I can't.
Well, that's a good answer. In terms of the likes of that second half, though, it almost felt like damage limitation at times, and Largs seemed to resort to the long ball with no real cohesion in terms of attacking moves. I don't think the goalkeeper had a save to make apart from one long range effort.
No, you're dead right. There's we never mixed the game up enough. That was the problem. The first 10 minutes we passed it well, but they got on top of us, and they pressed us back. And at that point, you need to, you can't stick to doing the same thing. You stick to doing the same thing. The opposition worked that out and stop you doing that. You need to have plan B. You need to do different things, but you need to mix it up. And as I say, the real disappointing thing was, as we spoke about exactly what we had to do. You're talking about playing long balls. It's a long, aimless ball to their centre half is just no good enough. I don't think until the last 10-15 minutes that Cumnock really played. They just knocked it over our full-backs and made us turn and got in behind us. As I say, there's more than one way to skin a cat, and we've got to learn that, because in this league it's really unforgiving.
Well, it certainly is, there's no doubt about that. Now, looking towards next week, it's Oven Meadow, and what's the latest situation in terms of this injury crisis that Largs are coming out of, in fairness?
Yeah, they're coming out of it, and I'm not making any excuses about injuries. At the end of the day, I had a full squad to pick from. I actually had to leave someone out today, so there's no, for me, Eddie Walton's the club captain, so it would be great if Eddie, somebody mentioned in the dressing room that Nicky scored a lot of goals for us last year, but James has come in and scored a couple of goals in these league games, so we can't point to that either. It's the 11 guys that go in the park have to grow up quite quickly and have to realise that when a team stops you doing what you want to do, you have to be able to fight your corner and overcome that, and we just didn't do that at all today.
There was no Gordon Lappin today?
No, Gordon was left out. As I say, that was one of the players that was left out today. We just felt that, as you say, we didn't want to make any changes. Signed Glenn Thompson during the week, and we thought that Glenn, coming down here is a better sitting midfield player. So that was the kind of thought behind that. That we felt we'd probably need a more defensive midfield player than Gordon is. So.
And lastly, let's say Oven Meadow next week, suddenly that looks like a really difficult challenge. I suppose Largs in recent years especially have maybe thrived under that pressure. Can they do that again? Can they get anything from this game at Oven Meadow after such a demoralising defeat today?
Yeah, obviously, there's got to be a response now for the players. The players have got to respond, and I feel they will. I've known some of these players a long time, and they'll be hurting as well. So it'll be a case of, it'll be sleeves rolled up, and at the end of the day, we need to go and fight for it. Because in this league, nobody gives you anything. You've got to fight for it, and it's not just going to be as simple as playing nice passes or playing pretty patterns or anything like that. It's got to be sleeves rolled up, and that's what's going to have to happen from here on in.
Okay, Sandy, thank you.